Are the Greens in trouble? In my previous videos on Panathinaikos, you'll find those linked up top. Even in their dominant win against Bayern, there were moments of defensive vulnerability. Still, their overall performance was so impressive that I found myself asking, who can stop them? Well, we got our answer pretty fast. The Greens suffered back-to-back road defeats against Paris Basketball and Real Madrid, with their defense looking surprisingly shaky. Let's dive into what I discovered when I re-watched these games. Watching these games, you'd think these guys just met in the locker room. Remember, we're talking about last season's second-best defense in the league. They only added 3 new faces this summer. Sure, it's way too early to hit the panic button, but we can definitely dig into what we've seen so far. The Greens' level of concentration and communication has been far from top-notch. We're seeing guys lose their defensive assignments away from the ball. Sometimes they don't even seem to know who they're supposed to be guarding. Now, for newcomers like Osman, who's just getting his feet wet in the league, some off-ball struggles are understandable. But here's the kicker. We're also catching seasoned players like Grant, Nunn, and Grigonis losing track of their men. The Greens' bread and butter in pick-and-roll defense was the hedge-out. Their communication and rotations? Top-notch. But this week, it's like we're watching a different team. Check this out. Campazzo's left wide open, Mitoglu jumps in to help, but boom. Extra pass, open shot. These are the kind of mistakes that'll kill you against a powerhouse like Real Madrid. Now let's talk about Mateo's game plan. He came ready to exploit that hedge-out defense, and boy, did he have some tricks up his sleeve. Check this out. Hazonia sets a flare screen to mess with the tagger. Result? Wide open shot. Clever stuff. But Mateo wasn't done. In other possessions, he kept Juancho on the strong side, forcing Papapetru or Nunn to play low tagger. Then, bam! Rapid ball movement. Defense scrambling. It's like Mateo found the blueprint to short-circuit the Greens' defense. Now let's shift gears to the Paris basketball game. Same story, different opponent. Watch this. Hedge-out defense, but where are the high hands? Nowhere to be found. Short spots the opening and makes an easy pass to the short roll. It's like they've forgotten defensive 101. This is the kind of stuff that made the Greens' defense so tough last year. Now, it's giving opponents a free pass to the paint. Take a look at Lesort here. His recovery is slow. This delayed reaction gives the offense plenty of time to exploit the gap he's left. In this possession, watch Grant closely. He's playing weak, giving some space. But here's the kicker. Mitoglu positions himself as if he's about to hedge out. This misalignment leaves the right lane wide open. Now Mitoglu's forced to defend with lateral steps, which isn't his strong suit. Against Paris basketball, Grigonis was one of the targets when his was on the court. They used guard-to-guard screens to switch Grigonis onto shorts, then went for isolation plays. Both road games this week saw a common target, Kostas Sloukas. The veteran guard was under constant pressure, targeted in ball screens, exploited as a tagger, and isolated in one-on-one situations. Now, Sloukas has never been known as a defensive powerhouse, but right now he's looking particularly vulnerable. This might be due to his ongoing injury recovery. Whatever the reason, Sloukas is struggling to keep up with his defensive assignments. Let's shift our focus to Yurtsevens' drop defense, which opponents have been quick to exploit. Check out Tavares here, using a Gortat screen to disrupt Yurtsevens' backpedaling. It's a clever move that throws off Yurtsevens' timing and positioning. And here's TJ Shorts, taking advantage of the space given by the drop coverage. He punishes Yurtseven with a smooth left pull-up jumper. Now, let's talk about the Greens' defensive transition. It's another area where they're struggling, and it's giving us some serious déjà vu. Last season started the same way. Check out the video link in the top right for a refresher. Against Paris, the Greens lost control of the game's rhythm. Their defensive transition was weak, and they failed to use strategic fouls to slow down their opponents. This allowed Paris to play their preferred style, ultimately costing Panathinaikos the match. It's concerning to see these same issues resurfacing. All right, let's wrap this up. Remember, we're still early in the season, so there's no need to hit the panic button just yet. What we've done here is highlight some issues we spotted in these two road games. These are things the Greens need to address, and fast. The competition in EuroLeague is fierce, and falling behind in the standings isn't an option if you're gunning for the title. Sure, their home game performance will likely be stronger, but relying on home court advantage alone won't cut it for a championship contender.